Good morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So I should be back in Australia by now. I'm obviously recording this before I go away, and to be honest, I saw something on Facebook the other day and I went, oh, I've got to try that. And then of course once I tried it I went, oh, I've got to share this. So yeah, I've got to share it now before I forget about it and then I get back home and it's all gone. So yeah, you will need to do this. One of these, which is the silicone craft sheet, and some sort of masks. And it is so cool. I can't wait to show you. All right. Oh, and also you'll need Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So let's just pop those to one side for a minute. Let's bring in the machine. Dun, dun, dun. So to do this, you are going to need the base plate like that. You are also going to need one of the, well, this one's called number 3. Clear plastic. Actually, this one looks a little straighter. Clear, not plastic, whatever they call them. Anyway, one of those. And you also need this one, which is the number 4. And this is the embossing plate. And then it's so magical, so exciting. So you obviously need a bit of cardstock as well. Let's just readjust that because it keeps going light and I don't like it when it goes light because you can't see what's happening. So you want to pop this down on there. So this is your silicone mat, and then you put your cardstock on top and you pick out whichever one of these you fancy using. So actually I've done things with those 3 already, so I'm going to try this one. And you're going to pop this down like that. So you want it wherever you want it on your cardstock, that's where you want to put it. And then you pop this on top and you run it through. It's a little tight, admittedly. And we wait. Then, bum, da, ba, bum. Look at that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. How cool is that? So it embosses it. And I just thought that was really exciting. So then of course I got a bit carried away and I played with all of those and then, okay, so this one's really clever too. I did discover, in fact I could probably have done it with that, but hey, so I've only got 2 current decorative masks. So the next one is the Layers of Beauty decorative masks that happens to go with this stamp set here, if you can see that all right. Let's just focus in on that a minute. And it is such a beautiful stamp set. And then these embossing folders, not embossing folders, masks actually mask off the different parts of it and then you can colour it in, which is really cool. So obviously you colour it with your brushes or your daubers. However, then, sorry, that keeps doing that because I've got my the biggest stamp actually sitting on there. And oh yikes, is that going to stay there? Oh, that looks a bit wobbly. So then I discovered that I'm just going to move this out of the way for the time being because I actually won't do it. I'll just show you. Here they are. So I discovered that if you take these 2, I discovered were the best ones to do it with. But if you take that one and you put your cardstock down on there and you put that on top of there, it will actually emboss all the way through both sections. And hopefully you can see this. So I've ended up colouring them both in, but it's really hard to see it. Not sure whether this one's actually any better. You can definitely see it on the back. I possibly should have left it plain to actually be able to see this. But it's really cool that it actually embosses both parts. Now what I did with this one was I then went ahead and sat these down on top of the embossed bits, which will be next to impossible for me to find out which way round it went. No idea. Anyway, so I sat them back on top of there and I've actually just brushed over top of it. Whereas this one, what I did was I actually just took my brush and went lightly over it. And then for the green leaves, which are not embossed, as you can see on here, I've actually gone ahead and put the mask on, which again was really cool because it actually did, it sort of measured up. Oh, and then they're so difficult to get them in the right spot. As clearly I can't. There we go. Look, there it is. So yeah, so that one I had actually pre-stamped as well. So I stamped it up and then I put the masks on top, and then put it through the embossing machine. Maybe I should show you. Okay, hang on. This would be probably a lot easier. I might delete that last bit and redo. So, for the purposes of if I did delete the last bit, because I kind of waffled somewhat on that, you can do it with these two, which is the, in case I've deleted way too much, it's not the link together dies at all. It's the Layers of Beauty decorative masks. So if you put the one that has sort of like more holes, as it were, I guess you could say, and then you put this one down on top, obviously there's a little dink in the corner, and if you line those dinks up, for a better way of putting it, you will end up with it in the right spot. And then very carefully pop that down on top, send it through. Now this gets very tight, and if you thought the last one was tight, this one is tighter. But it does squash down because you've got the silicone mat in there. And let's just zoom in. How cool is that? Whoa. So then, yeah, it embosses both layers. I really don't think you could do it with 3. I didn't want to try it because I didn't want to break my machine. And I don't think you can't put it back in with another layer on it because it's going to squash it down, unfortunately. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. And in case I deleted that from the last ones, that's the 2 that I actually experimented with. So this one I actually experimented by putting the stamp imaged on first. So there's, you know what, let's get rid of the machine now, shall we? So we will refocus, maybe refocus. Yes. So this one I stamped the image first, and then I put the masks. Goodness me. Yeah, whichever way it goes, that way round. So then I put the masks on top because I could then sort of like put them straight on top of where they needed to go. It is really cool that it measures up exactly. I did discover, however, after doing this, that that's not the right way up. As you put it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it clearly does move slightly because that has then sort of like gone to about there, whereas I know I did have it right to begin with. And I've got a feeling that's because the silicone mat, God, get the words out, Heather, actually moves slightly as you run it through. However, I'm quite happy with that. And then this one is a little splodgy, but that's because I decided I was going to go ahead and put, which way round does it go? That way. So I figured that seeing as it had been embossed, I was going to stamp it afterwards. So I did stamp it afterwards, and then I've actually gone ahead and coloured in with my brushes. And that's how it's ended up, kind of looking a little patchy. The stamping didn't work so well after I had done the embossing, as you can see from here. But yeah, I just thought pretty cool, and it's a really cool way of getting an interesting design. Potentially you could just leave it white. I mean, that would look pretty cool as a background. And it's just an extra way of using your decorative masks. Oh my goodness, I am having so much trouble with words. Yeah, so there you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a whole heap of stuff and pop it onto my blog so you can check it out, and come and join me next week for something randomly different again. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, take care, bye.